Okay. Got everything set up, hopefully. I'll just wait through the duration of this song or so, because this is like a minute long, and be sure that everything is working, hopefully. Alright, well, that's long enough. I don't think that anybody... I don't know if anybody is going to show up, but today is at least going to start a little bit differently for an architecture stream, in that I'm not going to start with actually building things, but rather trying to play through some things. I've had a thought that what I would like to do is take the level of rooms that I've been building on stream and maybe put it together with some levels that these puzzles that I built a long while back. I forget exactly when, but there was a brief period of time during which I went into the Caravelnet chat and asked those present for some elements to use, and then took those elements and ran with them in order to build a puzzle. And the problem is that I don't have any demos for these puzzles, so I would like to go on and produce some demos for these puzzles. I've moved them all into a level within this hold, which I'm also going to include the architecture stream level in as well. Or rather, I already have, that's where that was. So I can tell that some of these are going to be trickier than others. I was hoping that if there was audience, that they might be able to help me figure out some of these old rooms that I have not touched in so long that I don't remember exactly how they go. I actually poked at this one a while ago, and I think this one's not so bad. Well, I don't necessarily know how bad it is. The basic idea is that your release is that we'll be toggling... The basic idea is that we will be toggling between having no trapdoors and having a trapdoor. So we'll want that construct to help drop a trapdoor each cycle. And so we'll be using every other decoy to kill the previous decoy, like that, so that the construct will be attracted somewhere else. But that was a little premature. What I vaguely recall is that there is meant to be a trick to this, at the very end especially. Because the very last decoy, because of this conquer token and this green door, the last decoy I place has to kill this construct somehow. This construct has to die on the way out of this little passage. I don't remember exactly how that's to be accomplished. I essentially am going to need to save a decoy somewhere. But I don't necessarily have any idea where yet. I think it's possible that the idea is just to use Beethro's body to attract the construct somewhere useful, but I don't really remember. Something else that it might theoretically be possible to do, although I'm not sure about this, is block off the builder from building something somewhere. That doesn't really seem to be working though, so I'm not sure that's the idea. I also wonder if I'm maybe supposed to have some decoy stab the construct at some point. That could also be something that's supposed to happen. So here we're down to the last decoy, which needs to somehow do things favorably. It would be really helpful if he wasn't trying to build there, but I don't know of a way to make him not build there. Like if he were to build the trapdoor instead around where the construct is already pacing, that would be a lot more helpful. Maybe I should place this decoy here. Although there's no way to stab him from there, I guess that might be okay. Oh, no, the construct won't go to him. Won't go to the trapdoor this way. Maybe if I put him like that. Well, that's no good either. Now the construct won't actually go where he's supposed to. I mean, I can do that, but maybe this is good enough? Okay, this isn't that complicated. You just need to be a little careful about how you place things, I guess. I feel like maybe it was supposed to be more complicated, but I think that's complex enough as it is. And so now we have a demo. I think there might be other trickier ways to do this, but that works. That basically works. Okay, I see. So the trick here that made this solution work is that the penultimate decoy stabbed the previous one, and acted as a attractor to the construct. Oh, and that was based on a prompt wherein Discorin suggested builders, Insoluble suggested decoys, and Nuntar suggested constructs. And that was the 4th time I was prompted to build something. The 5th time, Dragonfogel suggested gel, Hyperme suggested cracked orb, and Insoluble suggested Aumplich. So there are kind of 2 fundamental things about this room to notice. First of all, there's a black gate at the beginning. That means we can't cut all of the tar stuff, so we'll have to kill at least one of these Aumplich without opening him up. So that means using one of these cracked orbs to open up the respective fire trap. So to do that, we need to open both of these doors or both of those doors, each of which just requires killing these eyes. So that's kind of redundant, but anyway. I think the overall idea was to have some symmetry and maybe give the player an option of which Aumplich to release, which might be a relevant choice. I don't really remember whether that's a meaningful choice or not. Once we have the Aumplich released, we want to hold down 3 pressure plates all at once. And we also want to push all 3 of these particular cracked orbs. So that means we need to make our way to those cracked orbs by having an Amplich break the ones that are in the way that close these doors. So the first thing to do is to maneuver this mirror that we already have access to and try to find some way to get an Amplich to break the correct cracked orbs without breaking the wrong ones. So my vague recollection is that we are going to need these gel babies. That's what the trick is, kinda. We're gonna need at least one of these gel babies. I think we only need one. I could be wrong, but since we need to hold down 3 buttons, we're gonna need at least one gel baby, plus the Amplich, plus the mirror. That would be enough for 3 buttons. So the tough trick here is that we need to somehow control the Amplich while also keeping a gel baby around. So here what I need is for this guy to hit the orb that's in my way and not hit the orb that's not in my way. I can't tell for sure if the mirrors that I can't move are intended to be helpful or harmful. I think they can be both depending on the situation. Alright, 1 down. As I recall, there's some trickery needed to just in terms of keeping the gel baby off your back while manipulating the Amplich. Or if not needed, it's at least favorable to perform some trickery to do that. I'd really like to stick this guy in the south side, I feel like, but maybe that's not necessary. Let's bring you around this way. I really just need you to move 1 tile this way without, yeah, there we go. No, that's the wrong one. Durr. Okay, I need you to come down this way. Since I already have a gel baby on the east side, I can probably do the west side with impunity. And then just stick him there, hit this. This mirror means that I could stick the I could keep the Amplich glued exactly to this point, and I could do the same thing on the east side if I wanted to as well. Alright, I really need to get this guy somewhere favorable. That'll work, I think. Alright. And now I just need to hit another orb and stick him in place so he's out of the way. Alright, now I can hit both of these. I don't think there's any trickery with these guys, I can just kill them. So now it's time to try and get things into position to reach the eastern eye. I think this is just fine. I think that'll work. And then put the mirror over here, and I just need to somehow get this gel baby stuck on one of these places, stuck on one of the buttons. I might need the mirror's help to accomplish that, actually. I'm not sure. Is it possible to survive extracting this guy? Yeah, it should be with this mirror's help. I might be a little better at manipulating gel babies than I was when I built this room. So all I need is for him to be there, and for me to be able to put the mirror where I need it. I think I can maybe do that. Not quite. Let's try... Yeah, this might be the tricky part. Because I need to place the mirror and then put the gel bead into position. But I think I might have it. Yeah, we're good. Right, that's what we needed there. Break that, kill him, and then I can just press that to finish the room. Alright, not too bad again. I think those were the easy ones. This one might not be too bad either. Floor spikes, roach, and construct. So this is just a basic monster maze, except there are floor spikes everywhere, which means we need to be very careful. There's also a roach and a construct that we'll be manipulating simultaneously. We need to get them onto these two buttons, and then stand here, so that that briar will kill the eyes. And to get them there, each of them will have to help the other one by standing on a one-use pressure plate in the middle of its path. Now how do I let these guys out? Alright, they both come out at once when you go push this button. And I think that was what I wanted to do, was open the way exactly as the spikes popped out. Oh, I can't do it that way. I need to carry him north onto the button instead. I think my only way to do this is if I'm actually standing on the west side of the wall. So I'm going to try to achieve that. But if I'm on the east-west side, then I'm also moving the construct around, which is not really favorable. Oh, I guess I've been moving him around this whole time anyway, haven't I? Yeah, this is pretty much just straight-up simultaneous manipulation. I think the room is kind of a rotational mirror of itself. Looks like it. But it's just that constructs move very differently from roaches, so you have to do some very different movements to keep them safe. That'll work. Let's see if I can get the construct to do his job. Yeah, okay. So he's pushed the button on his side. Now ideally I want him to be safe. That's a temporary safe point. There's not quite time to get to that. What is the best way to get him up north again? If he'd go east here, that would work. Oh no, that'll work too. Okay. Now I think I might be able to time this so he steps here on a 10th turn. Yeah, there we go. And then I can pull him into this hole. Now we can focus on the roach, perhaps. If I delay walking him out one turn, then he'll step on the button on the correct turn, which is to say, on a turn where he won't get spiked. There's not quite time to get him there. There is enough time to get him here. Alright. And now they're both in the pockets. Well, I may as well bring the roach onto his target, actually. Alright, Roach is on this target. Now for the construct, I'll wait till turn 10. Yeah, I thought so. Alright, and now everybody is where they need to be. And then we can just let them die. Die, and die. Hooray! That one was pretty easy as well. I guess the east side is all the easier rooms. And I say that because I know that the first time that I got some prompts, I built some very weird and tough room. I liked this set of prompts so much that I built it twice. There was time tokens, gel, and floor spikes. So that room is focused very heavily on the idea of time tokens and floor spikes. Whereas this version is based instead on, I guess you could say, the gel and the time tokens. So I don't remember precisely what this room's all about. I can see what I'm looking at here. I feel like I vaguely recall there being some kind of trickery with something. Because you can clearly see there's kind of 3 places where I need to hold down buttons. But there are only 2 time clones available, and Beethro himself can't be in one of these rooms when the last cut happens. I think I know what I need to do. I think I need to leave the western room alone. What I'm not so sure about... I guess I'll just leave a time clone right here and for the best. Now eventually, once the Briar goes through, both of these doors will open. I'm just gonna have this guy sit a really long time. And I think this room is going to be the one where I'm not directly controlling things, so I'm going to try to clear up anything that's in there and shouldn't be. Okay. So when the third cut happens, I need to somehow make sure that the gel babies stand on these buttons. That'll work. Alright, and then I can wait around. Oh dear. I'd like to believe things won't exactly be like that. But, yeah. Oh, let's just, there we go. Alright, so as far as I know, that should be fine. Now the trick is that the third group, I need to bring out a couple of gel babies, and then I need to make sure that one of them goes to that button. Perfect. Now we need to make sure that all the gel babies die, which is easier said than done. I'd really like to carry anyone who's not getting killed by the central guy into the west side, so that the central guy can kill them. I guess this might be the proper hard part of the room, really. Okay, that's good. So now I think if I walk far enough away, then that guy should be able to handle things. That's bad. He's gonna have to get a little farther away to handle that one, unless I do something about it. Yeah, okay, so there's one I can't kill with this configuration, but the basic idea is here, I just need to do better. Oh, I need to actually wait. There we go, that's the maximum amount of time that I can give the Sentry guy. I actually might want to be the East guy first. That should give me better control over the situation once I'm recording the Central guy. Okay, and now, just in case, this guy's gonna mow right here for a while. Now we're gonna wait until that guy starts doing something. Alright, I think that might be good enough. Alright, so now we just need to try to make sure everybody else dies. Can take a little bit of advantage of the floor spikes to help with this. Not yet. Need to wait around for them to be ready. Okay. Now very carefully... Okay, I can see a problem here. Alright, I need to go back and record the middle guy again. Oh, whoops. That's a little too far. Alright, go back. You. Alright. When you start killing people, you need to do it this way. Just gonna do a couple cycles of this. Hopefully that'll work. If I time this exactly right, I can make sure he dies. That's good enough. Alright, at this point I need to try to make sure things work out properly here. Need to peel this guy off that way. That'll work. Wonderful. So this is pretty neat, actually. It's not about what it looks like it's about. It's really about cleaning up the gel babies at the end. Alright, next. I know exactly what this room is about. This room is about very specific multi-pushing. So I don't remember the rules of multi-pushing exactly, which is a slight issue for trying to solve this room. But the basic idea of this room is that, first of all, a time clone must go over here and stab this gel beam. Someone has to stab this gel. I think Real Beethro has to do that. And then, after Real Beethro stabs some gel, this black gate is then open. So then a time clone can walk up on through here and push this button. And then the other time clone can go up here and kill these gel babies. So in order for all of that to happen, the time clone that's going to push the orb is going to have to be ready to be pushed into the door, onto the door. So he's going to start here, he's going to go up there and push the button. And hopefully he'll be timed well enough to not die to the spikes. The time clone that's going to stab the gel babies just needs to be here when the door is opened. So both of those have to have anticipatory movement. And then the Real Beethro needs to get pushed through here, because as you can see, there's more than 10 tiles of space to walk through. In fact, there's exactly 2 extra tiles there. Around here, there's exactly enough room that if the time clone walks on exactly a multiple of 10, then he'll be on the force arrows, and then he'll be able to stab that orb, which is conveniently symmetrically placed with this door. So, like, the basic plan makes sense, but executing it is not easy. That's basically what I remember. And I think I recall this. I bet this tile, this very specific tile, is extremely important to making things work. What this tile means is that somebody can stand here without worrying about being stabbed on the 10th turn. So I think what needs to happen is they need to be in position to push, and then as soon as the spikes happen, then they do the pushing. But I don't remember exactly how the push works. I think maybe it's something like this. Let me think. What needs to happen is that Beethro needs to walk onto a tile and then immediately be pushed off the tile and into the direction he needs to go in. He might even need to be double pushed. But I don't remember whose push comes last. So I'm going to need to do some testing for that. So first of all, be the first time clone. Wait here. Go to turn. Do that. Then be the next time clone. And be ready to go. I think he needs to do this a turn early? No. So do that. And as far as I know, Beethro should walk east on this turn, and then try to walk east again, or west. Beethro should walk onto the floor this turn, and then, I don't know. Something like this needs to happen. That's what I know. So let's... don't mess with the timeline. Alright. He's only getting a single push this way. He's walking into the stick and then he's getting pushed, and that's not good enough. Yeah, that's exactly... so he needs another push somehow. So how do I achieve another push? If they could be standing one tile farther to the west, that might function. Although I'm not sure exactly... Yeah, I think this is the correct order for them to have been recorded in. The west one first, so that he moves later, then the eastern one, which moves sooner. That's correct. I just don't remember exactly what the setup is for pushing Beethro properly. Let's try this. First time clone, wait around, go here and push there. I don't know that double pushing is necessarily required. Right, and then the second time clone is going to do like he did before. Oh, I think that might be it. He gets pushed by that time clone. No, I don't think that's right. That might be a problem, actually. But let's take a look at what happens. Yeah, here he's, well... Oh, wait a minute. So what just happened here is that Beethro did get pushed by the pushed time clone. It's just that that's still not enough push for him to get all the way across. So... yeah, the problem here is kinda... maybe if the first guy, instead of moving here, just turned his stick. So, do that sequence again. You wait here, and then you do this. I think that's what I had in mind. And then you're going to here. But you should already be turned this way. No, I don't think that'll work. As you can see, he's not getting pushed. But what if I reverse the way these two are ordered? I don't think that would help either. Yeah, here he's been pushed too far. So he needs to face that way. Oh, maybe they both turn their weapons. That might be enough to catch up with the Beefro who's already been pushed. I feel like this room might have a few too many distractions. Because fundamentally the room is about this double push. Oh, that works. That's exactly what you need to do. Yeah, fundamentally that double push is all that this room is about. And anything else is kind of window dressing. But at the same time, the window dressing looks nice. Alright, so now I have a basic idea of what the double push is supposed to look like. Or it's not a double push really, but I know how the push should look. So now I can get to work on actually setting things up. So this guy, he waits 30 turns, he goes this way, and then he turns his sword. He can actually just walk this way twice, I think. And then he's going to go retrieve a sword because he's going to be the one who actually goes and stabs the button. We're going to have to be really careful that he actually is aligned with the 10-turn cycle, but otherwise, literally all he does is walk north. And then Time Clone 2 waits here, goes that way, turns his sword. I think that's right. And now what he's going to do is very carefully orchestrate that first Time Clone's pushing. Oh, and he also needs to push on a certain turn, but that should be okay. This part is also tricky, I admit. So wait until it would be his time to try to move. So when is he first trying to move? And align that to a 10-turn cycle. Align the push northward onto what will be an open tar door to a 10-turn cycle. Right, he's way off right now. Stun, stun, stun. Move. Wait, no, that's right. Stun, because he'll be pushed onto the black door. That's the way I have things set up now. So now he should do his job. Oh, wait, he can't actually set up that way. I forgot. The other guy needs to already be standing on the black door when it closes, so we can't do it exactly like that. He actually needs to synchronize from one tile south of the door, which should be easier to manage anyway. So wait, and then go back a turn so that he's walking up there on turn 30, and then he just walks north. Now I need to reorchestrate this. Oh, whoops. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that should be a multiple of 10 stun turns. So hopefully that'll work. And this guy's just going to wait here for those gel babies to exist. I'll just hold plus and let him... That should be long enough, hopefully. Alright, now you wait here. And hopefully everything will work out properly. I guess we'll see. Oh, there's still another trick to this. I forgot. So, if you look at this situation here, things need to be timed so that Beethro doesn't die and doesn't die to these gel babies. I completely forgot about this problem. I know that this is an issue which was considered. So I think what I need to do is actually, hopefully, that guy is already on the correct cycle, because I can't just tune his cycle from here, if that makes sense. I can't just time when I open the door, because I actually need to open the door ahead of time to survive this gel baby, to survive the babies that come from this gel. So that's an extra little bit of cruelty to this room, I would say. You actually have to time the gel baby, you have to time everything correctly before you become regular Beethro, or else it won't work. Oh, time tokens, gel, and floor spikes. And now I have a demo for it. It's 800 something moves, but it doesn't really need to be. So there's kind of two different things going on, but I feel like the room would be I think the room would feel incomplete without both of them. You have the whole carefully timing the gel cutting thing, like synchronizing the Eastern time clone so that that works, and you have the careful push Beethro twice puzzle, which involves pushing a time clone so that he can catch up to the Beethro who he's just finished pushing. Alright. So this one, Nuntar suggested Decoy, Chaco suggested Wubba, and Bomber50 suggested Fire Trap. It looks to me like I had the idea from that to make a room all about killing the right decoy at the right time. So the goal is essentially to not let the Wubba die. So you want to manipulate him by killing the decoys with the correct order and timing, so that he walks onto safe ground but doesn't wander off to the decoys that you can't kill. So here we have to be really careful because he wants to run that way, and that's no good. Let's see. That's bad too. It might not be about... Well, I think that getting the Wubba onto these safe islands is part of the point of the room, but I think there might be one of them that you're not actually supposed to bring him to. I could be mistaken, but... Alright, I think this far is correct, but... At this point, you have the problem of these guys, who you need to keep him away from. He needs to be attracted to something else instead. So I'm not sure I wanted to kill the west one. Maybe I need to get rid of that first. Oh yeah, okay, I think that's it. Then carefully align that. And then we can walk down here. Yeah, okay, so I think the safe points are intended to be places where he actually lands. So there he'll be attracted onto a fire trap if you do that. You can also choose to to turn off a fire trap though. That might be a relevant strategy. Or I think it literally was just now. So this puzzle is kind of weirdly long and big, but at the same time it is one where you know that you've completed a step generally once you've completed a step. So there's no... Oh, I think I did need that eastern guy. There's also a little bit of a making sure you're in the right place at the right time to be able to influence things quickly enough. Yeah, I had to stand in the right location to do that. This part's kind of silly. Let me see if I remember how this works. I think the goal is to get him onto this button. Yeah, the goal is to get him onto this button. But to do that, I think I need to bring him here, maybe? I don't know. I feel like this silly wall of decoys here is supposed to be for some purpose or other. Maybe... Yeah, this part I'm not entirely sure how it should work. I don't know if you were here at the very beginning when I explained this, but this hold was built way back when I went into chat and asked for suggestions of which elements to use. And I thought I might combine it, as far as fully publishing goes, into a hold that also included something. Into a hold that also included the things I built on stream. But I needed to produce demos because I don't remember the solutions. Yeah. I know there's something silly with this. I'm pretty sure that the trick here is I need to get around the orbs. So I need to put the decoy. I need to somehow put the Wubba somewhere safe to allow me to do that. Maybe I should do this. That's it. That's the trick right there, I think. And then you can do this. And now he'll be attracted to the player, and you can just walk down. Ta-da! We're done. Alright, that's a fun one. And then there's another one attached here. I glanced at this one earlier, not on stream, like a couple of days ago when I was thinking about what I'd do today. And I don't remember how this is supposed to work. This one, Chaco said a rock golem, Bomber 50 said broken wall, Nuntar said briar. So I know this room is about putting these 5... I think this room is about putting these 5 rock golems on these 5 buttons. I suspect that maybe one of them is supposed to still be alive somehow. Maybe I'm supposed to perhaps use these kegs to help me with that. I know that what's supposed to happen is that the briar is supposed to break the walls and explode the kegs to open these doors, and it does that when I get here. So the briar needs to grow slowly enough for me to get here, I guess. And then I need to be able to walk through here before it grows back onto the buttons. Then push the conquer token, and then you can do this to open a way. So as long as there's a path at least on as far as where this button is, then you can get out of the room, even if the briar has flooded everywhere else. So I think there's almost certainly some very careful carving necessary for the briar to ensure that it takes as long as possible to get out. I don't remember precisely how this is all supposed to be set up. I think that what I've done so far is not right, but I'm not sure. Let me see. The first one is here, the second one is there, the third one is there. So this blowing up would be very favorable to getting through these first three and then run through them, and then we can blow up something else to get those two open, in theory. So I'm going to try to make things work that way. But I feel like there's supposed to be maybe some trickery so that... I don't know why I keep using that word. I think there is something where maybe a rock golem was supposed to be left alive so that he would just walk off of his button, but I don't remember. So let's just see how things work out like this. Give the briar a little more space to have to grow. I think I have to do this. I think this is how we delay the briar, right? I'm not sure I need to cut any more than that. I might. Okay, yeah, I need to cut more than that, I guess. This is most likely part of it. He's actually carving through a bunch of this wall on the way out, so that the briar needs to spend time growing through it. Yeah, that's just enough time to get past there. I don't know, this might be it. I might have it. Because now it's gonna... Oh, I don't know. Okay, that was close to not working, but it did work. So, okay. This isn't as bad as I thought. It might have been intended to be worse than it is, but... Okay. Well, that was all the hard ones. I will say, I think this one and that one that I built the first time are probably the very hardest. But now we have demos. I'm really fond of this room, though. This is really cool. Because there's kind of two tricks. First, you see that you have 2 time clones in 3 slots, and it's like, how do I deal with that? But then even... Oh, hi, random error happening? I don't know what that was. But then, even after you know how to deal with that, then you have to actually clean up the gel babies. So... you have to find the way to kill things, yeah. But this one, I think, was the very first one I built here, and it might be my favorite because it's a really careful kind of multi-push thing. Anyway. Okay. So I'm done with that. I guess I can work on something else then. I didn't think far enough ahead to decide what else I would do, but... Sorry. Certainly one thing I would like to do is maybe hook things up a little better than just some awkward nothingness here. Maybe just put in some stuff. Yeah. I don't remember if I got more help than just what the elements should be. I feel like I just went with the elements, though. I could be wrong. So let's just build a nice stairs back to hub here. The hub won't look exactly like that necessarily, but... Okay, that's a little nicer. It might deserve more decoration than that, but I can at least describe this level a little better. Alright, I think that'll work. I might improve these scrolls a little bit. That can be first time, first room. I want consistent capitalization. Okay. Sixth time. Wow. I guess I could put like a little one. I think that maybe looks okay. One B, one A. I'm not. There should be enough room in the walls to do this, I think. Well, can I draw a coherent A in wall stuff? Does that look like an A? It looks kind of like an A. I'm looking over at the that looks less like an A. That looks kind of like a Q or something. I just feel like that doesn't quite look like a lowercase a, but I'm not sure how to fix it. Oh well. Maybe the tail should be over to the east a little farther, like that. Oh, maybe that'd be better, yeah. I just need kind of an O thing, and something like that. Yeah, that works a little better. That looks less like an A. Do this. Alright, that looks okay. Fine, good enough. So this was 2. Choose. I can do numbers, because I've done numbers before. Letters I'm not so good with. They won't all be of uniform size either, but... that looks fine. And this was 5. This breaks the symmetry of the room a bit, but I guess that's okay. Maybe I should put it there. And here's 6. There's not really room for a 6 in number 6. I'm wondering if I can build it into the map art without messing with the room too much. Like maybe put some bridge that says 6 over here. Alright, that looks like a 6. It's kind of readable on the map, but not really. It's at least not going to break the room. And then this was 4. Alright. Four is easy. Maybe I'll center it better. That'll work. Maybe pull it down a tile. Alright, that's all kind of readable, at least. I can move this B over to the right a bit. I don't think there's a way to use the decoration in this room to break the puzzle by putting a decoy in it, but if someone finds one, I guess I'll be okay with that. The rest of these, you're not doing any potion-based placement of things, so should be able to avoid any issue like that. That looks about right. Yeah, I don't think I broke the demo. Alright, so, I guess I need to decide if I want to scrap this idea of a room that I still haven't figured out how to finish. I rather liked this room. It took some turns, but that's because there's a lot of waiting for tar stuff to grow. I'm fond of the way that this room is just barely non-trivial. Like, the room would be completely trivial if you could walk in with your sword, or if the seeding beacon wasn't there. I should maybe make another room with a seeding beacon in it. While that's not a trait of every successful room so far, it's been a trait of several of them. Now let's just put a room here and assume that it has an eastern entrance. Alright, what can I do with seeding beacons that I haven't done yet? I guess I could make a room about coming in and going back out and coming back in again. I mean, I have an open room over to the east that I haven't done any building in, so I could in theory do that. Maybe something where I'm trying to think of some idea where the player would actually have to push a seeding beacon in order to succeed for some reason. That's not quite right. I want that other tile to the west. To the north, I mean. Yeah, that looks better to me. Okay, so there's some kind of Z-shaped thing going on here with this room, is the idea that I have. And for whatever reason, once you enter the room from one side, you can't actually leave. I think I might need another twist to this Z-shape, actually. Let me try to conceptualize this a little more. So I'll push the initial entrance south a bit farther. So what I have in mind is something where you first enter the room through some force arrows, so something like that, and then you need to have the doors down to leave, and then when you re-enter you need to have the doors up again, and then you need to leave again and close and reopen the door, and then you can leave. So that exit will be blocked off with force arrows, and then this will be the initial entrance. So this is kind of the flow of the room, and you need to somehow hit a seeding beacon in your first pass through the room. And then when you re-enter the room, I guess I should set up some kind of door setup so that you can't just skip to the latter parts of the room. Do this. Maybe do that. I have no idea what the room will be about, but it's going to be somehow about hitting a seeding beacon in the middle and then accomplishing some things. So maybe put a one-use button on the initial entrance that closes off both of these, or something. Oh, well, that shouldn't be that way. Should it? No, it is, yeah. And there could perhaps be a little more to this finishing passage than just the way in and way out. There could be some kind of resource or some obstacle that gets in the player's way. What if it's a Gentry Eye? What if we just have a Gentry Eye chained here? Is that going to make sure that he didn't want one here? Okay, stop that. Stop that. Go away. If I come in from the east side of this room, is he going to be able to be pinned to that wall? I guess it doesn't matter. Once the door is shut, he can't get through it. And then when the door is open, he can. But I do need to make sure that you can actually enter from this way. So I need to set up where he is a little better. Let's put something in this room to put the doors in the right state. Maybe if I do that. So when you enter from this side, the Gentry is like, oh hi, I'm gonna follow you now. Whereas, why do I keep doing that? When you enter from this side, it's like, nope, he can't get anywhere. You push the button. And even if the room has a brain, it still won't be that the Gentry can get out of that box before... Okay, so that's a good idea, I think. I just need to make something that works with it. So your goal in the first pass is to clear the room and to push a seeding beacon. And your goal in the second pass is to just clear the room, but now there's Gentry in the way. So I need something that will function with that, I guess. I might also put a passage so the player can sort of preview the room. Oh no. You can preview the room by walking in and not going past the force arrow, so that shouldn't be a problem. This might not be all there is to this room, but just to... so I'm not looking at it too much. There we go. So, there should be something in the way of reaching the seeding beacon that you need to do something about. This is not quite what I have in mind to ultimately put here, but I'm just trying to meditate on what kind of thing I can do. What if I just give the player some tetrominos? On a platform area. So now we can wake the eyes and they might be able to be maneuvered into a position where they'll push the button. I should let the player open when they want to break. I should let the player determine when they want to wake the eyes, though. Maybe put something like that. Did I say toggle? No, I want that to be toggle, I think, for the Gentry version of the room, maybe. Might be an interesting thing to add. I guess one issue with this is that they'll still have a very open path. Just go straight west. In theory, it would be nice to also maybe give the option to close off the easy way. Although the platform kind of gives the player a method of seemingly teleporting as far as the eyes are concerned. I'm also not sure it'll be relevant that there are 2 eyes. There should be something... Let's make this a little bigger and make it a trap. I could also rearrange this a little bit. And maybe add one more Tetramino. I don't have any Z shapes. Let's add one of those. Some reason I always seem to gravitate to putting Tetraminos in as my platform shapes. It's just kind of such an obvious shape to use, I guess, when you're making a tile-based object like this. So here there's a path that goes diagonally up that way. This kinda almost works. I don't think there's a good way to make one of them block the other's path or anything. Well, that would be cool. Maybe the button just needs to be in a different position to make this reasonable. Oh, whoops, I don't think need to set it up like that. There we go. So my first wonder is, do I need to bother with the platforms at all? It might be possible like this to just... yeah. That's a little disappointing, really. Although you do still need to kill the eye somehow in this condition. That's doable as well. So I don't necessarily like this setup yet. Looks like it is possible to get past there with the Gentry eye. Certainly one option I have is to make it so that this door also opens the exit. So you'll need to put the Gentry Eye on that as well. On your way through the second time, you need to put the Gentry Eye there. If the Gentry Eye is standing on a door, is he going to walk off fine? Yeah, okay. Because that looks nicer, in my opinion. I really wonder if I could make this something about having the Gentry Eye hold the platforms down, but it's really difficult for me to come up with a good reason why you want the Gentry Eye to hold a platform down. The one context in which I was able to do that was in Vethra's Awakening, where you have the jump power, because jumping off of a platform requires that the platform won't move. So pinning the platform in place is actually helpful under those conditions. Yeah, I don't know about this trapping him in thing. Maybe I don't want that. In theory, the idea might be to, yeah, I could put a seeding beacon on one of these platforms, but that's kind of the opposite of what the player will want when the Gentry Eye is out. What I'm thinking is I'd really like it if I could have the player make it so that the eye has a brained path that takes it across the button at the right time. But for that, I think I would need to give the player an obstacle to place or something. At least for the button to be there. I guess I could make the button placed a little better for this idea. Let's see. What if I make an easy bridge straight from where the eyes are to up here? So in theory, I want the eyes to want to go like this. Maybe use a different one as the last platform. Like that, maybe. Unfortunately, his quickest path seems to consistently be going south. Maybe something like this. Alright, you kind of just need to commit him to going that way long enough. Alright. I think this kind of works. Maybe... I honestly wish there was a pushable that just didn't press down buttons sometimes, because then I could use that to... I mean, there kind of is if you consider fluff, but... But if there were, then you could use that in this kind of situation to give the player an obstacle they can manipulate, but that won't mess things up. Let's put the button here. Or no. Let's put the button here and move the orb with it. So the player gets an obstacle for free, but they still have to move things around to ensure that it behaves, to ensure that the eye behaves. Maybe something like this. Generally speaking, when I make a puzzle like this, similar-ish to this, my goal is not to make the platform shuffling tedious, but to make it interesting to think about where you want the platforms. That's my more favored way for this kind of puzzle to... That's kind of the question that I want this kind of puzzle to be asking, if that makes any sense. Oh, whoops. Let's move that a tile that way. That's a little conspicuous, maybe, but... Now there's still a trick here, and I wonder if I could make this trick interesting. Because as you can see, in the current state of affairs, this extra bit of space means that the player will be trapped if things don't work out right. So maybe I could use that to require a slightly better, as careful a platform shape as possible, so that you bring both eyes across and not just one of them. I'm facing the wrong way. Hold on. I don't always try for absolute minimality as far as resources goes. I think sometimes giving the player something extra that isn't actually useful can be a nice red herring sometimes. I don't know. Okay, this functions. Now I need to see what it does on the second pass. So this time the goal is to kill everything but the Gentry Eye first, hopefully without being harassed by the Gentry Eye too much in the process, and then to get the Gentry Eye to go hold down that button while you exit to the east. So we're going to take a look at how that looks. Another option that I have is I could instead place the brain beyond that yellow door, so that you would be handling a brain Gentry Eye instead of an unbrained one. Because an unbrained one here might be kind of boring and easy. And it looks like all I have to do is just pull him right over here and ta-da! Very easy. I don't like that so much. And the brain's placement is a little awkward anyway. Let's just put the brain here instead. In this way, the first pass, it's very clear that you... Oh, wait, hold on. You have to be able to kill the brain somehow, right? How could I arrange things, then? What I could do... Let's put the brain back here. And set it so that this opens that door. And I can just put something here that kills the brain for you. I do need to be a little careful with this, though. Well, okay. Suppose the player does that. Congratulations, now you can't actually leave the room. Oh, no, you can. Okay. Never mind. I thought I was being clever for a second there. So I need to prevent that from happening, for sure. I think if I just move that to a corner, that should be fine. Now, if you stand around here, all you're going to do is pull him onto the door, and that's not very useful. And you can pull him off the door. It might be useful to be able to have him pinned, though. I can just be a little less fancy with his placement and fix that. Maybe make him a little shorter while I'm at it. Alright. There is no way that you won't trap the Gentrii in walking in the first time, and this way you also won't be able to have him do anything silly like go past the door on the second pass. And so I can safely move this to over there. Maybe do a little bit of this for symmetry. There we go. 2 eyes, 2 brains, 1 Gentrii. The first pass is still going to work the same way. Now I can think about the second pass again a little more carefully. So here, we need once again to be sure to kill these 2 eyes first. Oh dang it, look how easy this is. This is too easy. I think maybe the Gentrii is a little too long. Or really, he doesn't have to be that long at all for that to happen, does he? And I think something like that could happen pretty easily regardless. Wrong entrance. And I literally just lure him onto the L-shaped platform and he instantly does everything for me. If he was 1 tile shorter, then I'd need to at least move the L platform north a tile or 2. But I think it would still be fairly trivial to do. If he was only 2 tiles of chain, then I couldn't do this, but I could probably do something similar with the square platform or something. I don't know. Suppose I just hack in a wall right here. Arbitrary wall. That would prevent it, but I'm not sure I like that. I do have the option of of reorganizing things a little bit and making the Gentrii shorter. I think that should be everything properly set again. Alright, So with that, I can make the Gentry Eye really short. And let's see if that allows anything to happen. It makes this a lot more of a pain, which is not really my ideal. No, you can't get past him like this. That's a bad idea. I'm pretty sure he's permanently stuck like that. If I do that, that won't work. Let's try making him 4 tiles then. That's at least long enough it should be possible to survive exiting, right? Or I could move the force arrows a little bit, so that he won't start moving until you're already mostly past him. Can I do this? Would this break anything? No, that would be perfectly fine to do that. Alright, so if I try the trick now, it still might be possible, but let's see. Okay, he steps off it with that platform type. But suppose I give him a different type. I think this might plug the leak as far as having him just easily do the thing immediately. It's definitely trickier to try to create that situation, but it might still not be impossible, which is what I find a little concerning. I'm not immediately finding a way to do it, though, which is good news. Oh, I don't know, that would work. But if you do this, he has a brain. The instant he has a brained path, he's going to get away, and that'll be too fast. So, okay. I think this is enough to plug that leak without doing anything to the initial version of the room. So now, what you have an option of doing to kill off the eyes is just have him chase you like that. And this way you can sort of pin him in place anyway, long enough to try and set up something that will put him where you want him to be. I haven't thought too hard about how I want the solution to the second phase to go, but oh, whoops, I trapped him again. Alright, now I can get off. So, one thing of note, which is something that I thought might be interesting, is that you have the ability to toggle that door over there. So I thought it might be possible for the player to, say, use that to trap the Gentry Eye by pinning him to this door, and then you hit the button to unpin him again. I'm not completely sure that'll work as things are now, but it's sort of the idea I had in my head. Oops. That works. Doesn't require any pinning of the gentry at all. I mean, this technically works and functions as a puzzle. I'm just not necessarily sure that I'm satisfied with it, if that makes any sense. I feel like there could be more to this than that, but I'm not exactly sure how to induce said more. Oh yeah, I need to check on something real quick. I'll be right back. I'll just leave the music going, I think. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I remembered something I probably should have checked on like an hour ago, but it's not hurt by being late to check on it. Okay, so I was thinking about this before I interrupted myself. Excuse me. What could be really neat is if there was some way to use the eyes to help with the Gentry. But the issue with that concept is that the ultimate goal of the room is to kill everything while the Gentry and have the Gentry on its button to get out. So I don't know that that's necessary. Well, I feel like this room is passable as it is now, so maybe I'll just leave it. That's not far enough away. Maybe I could pull this another tile east. Yeah, that works. You don't really need to do any maze making or anything. I don't know. I'll at least make a demo for this, although I'm not sure that I want it to go exactly like that necessarily. need to make a first pass demo. Oh, whoops, that's not the right button. Is this the button? I always get confused between the record a demo from this point button and the record a demo of what I did since entering the room button. I almost never want the first one, but I always seem to get it. I guess this is technically a backtracking issue, the way things are right now, but I think all I have to do is just put an escape route here if the player does this wrong and doesn't activate the seating beacon. There we go. So now if the player wants to abandon ship, they can. Wait, that's no good. I need to be more careful than that, because if you just do it wrong, the whole point is that you should have to try again. So I'll need to set this escape route so that it also closes the exit to this room. So let's just do that. There. So if you use the escape route, then you have to go this way. No, that won't work either. I guess I could just leave a backtracking issue in, but I don't like that. The escape route has to somehow be in the scope of the original room, though. So I guess I could put some of this here. There. So now, if you do it wrong, and you cleared the room but not hit the seating beacon, you can walk back in, go down here, and then you have to try again until you do it right. But you can't just clear the room and leave this way, somehow. Hopefully. Unless I've missed something, which is theoretically possible. Why am I back here? Okay, I guess that something broke. Alright. So I'll have to redo this. That's fine. I must have walked back out the wrong way or something. There we go. That solves it, I guess. This is rather silly overall, but it needs more, but I'm okay with it for now, I think. Well, I've been at this for a couple of hours. I feel like I'm okay with quitting for now. I feel like I did what I kind of set out to do as far as confirming that all of these are solvable, making demos, not finding any breaks, thankfully. Well, hopefully there are no breaks. Especially in the ones that are supposed to be really tough, there's hopefully no trivializations around. Anyway, but I think I've kind of done enough for now, I feel like. Alright, well, thank you for watching. Next week I might not stream. If I do, it will have to be on Sunday, but Sunday is also the day that the contest is due, so I'll be busy also trying to put together the compilation, and that's not really something that I want to stream doing, so I might skip next week for a variety of reasons. Also, what I'm doing Saturday is kind of a big thing, so I'll post something in the thread. Anyway, I'm gonna let the rest of DuckTales Moon Theme remix here close this out. For the moment, thank you for watching.